sports. Welcome, everybody, and we are fired up for another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. Today, a ranked versus ranked matchup as a couple of top 25 teams get set to go jaw to jaw. As we'll see the #1 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, taking on the 15th ranked team in the land, the Alabama Crimson Tide. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. Alabama about to kick off to get things started. Bringing it back. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. A first down for the offense. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. First down here for the offense. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. Coming out aggressively. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds.
You know, it's a good decision by the QB because his intended target wasn't open, so throw it out of bounds, and you can live to play another day here on this drive.
Looking to throw, it's Gabriel. Pressure coming. Got rid of it just in time. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. And the crowd bringing the energy, trying to help this defense get off the field on 3rd and 10. They stop him after a short game, probably just wanted to mitigate the losses with 4th down coming. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Unloads to the wideout. The completion well past the sticks. And they finally get him to the ground. An easy conversion for this offense. Defense not exactly the perfect 4th down call there.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the first down.
He's going to let one fly down the middle. Grabs it inside the 10. Touchdown Ducks! And once he found daylight, it was Katie bar the door, baby.
I think a lot of people probably expected to see that, right? They're playing on the road. You know this is going to be a hostile environment, but they've got the better players, and we've seen that before. There was no hesitation. Opening drive, they go right down the field, they score a touchdown, and they made a statement.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man.
That's a breathing a sigh of relief for sure. Kick returner tries to take it out, puts it on the ground, but how about the offense getting back on it, turning what could have been a really bad play into, thank goodness I got the ball again.
Miller with the ball. At the 35, he's got room. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a first down. Alabama pushing the tempo. If you're going to play Bama tough, you're going to find out really early if you can handle the running game.
They're going to check your chin. I mean, they're going to come in and they're going to give you a steady diet of it. Even when they've had great quarterback play and spread the ball out, it's still a physical principle. They're going to make you stop the run. If you can't stop it, it could be a long game.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Prentice. And that completion good for a short game, but they still have some work to do to pick up the first down. Linebacker shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. From the gun, running back gets to give. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. 3rd and short now. They snap it from their own 46. Scanning the field, it's Milroe. Feeling some heat. Flushed out of the pocket. The quarterback scrambled around, but the defense able to scramble him and turn it into a sack. The secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. They'll immediately call timeout.
Timeout, Alabama.
The Crimson Tide will bring the punt team on the field. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. Coverage was all over him before he had a chance to breathe, and they knock him down deep in his own territory. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds, and just on to the next down.
Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. The critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
On fourth down, going to the air. Looking deep down the right side. Incomplete pass, and the defense comes up big, and they take over.
Hey, at this point of the game, fourth and short, no problem going for it. Fourth and medium, I think it's too early to start taking some of these chances. I think you need to just let the game play out a little bit and trust your defense.
Quick pass on the fly motion. Several defenders get an assist on that tackle. They pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on second and goal. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
And I got to find ways to manufacture some offense down here in this area. The field shrinks. It gets a little bit more difficult. So I got to take a few more chances. Get the ball to some speed on the perimeter. Trying to make...
Touchdown! Quarterback sneak pays off as he gets it across the goal line.
Third and goal situations, these are so hard as a defense, so little room to be able to give an inch at all. And you know when he goes under center, there's a good chance quarterback sneaks coming, and the offense does it and successfully gets the touchdown.
And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. And he's coming out of the end zone. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They were really aggressive going for it in their own end last time. It put them in a tough spot, David.
Yeah, aggressive, reckless. They got to find...
And he is snowed under, sacked at the 7. Just a great job defensively, making him go through his progressions, and he really didn't have time to do it.
And that's exactly what you do in zone coverage. You drop in your spots. You read the quarterback's eyes, make sure you take away that quick stuff, and a great job rushing the passer and getting the sack.
Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. And the Ducks headed quickly to the line.
That's a really nice-looking throw. And when I think about the Ducks offense, I think about explosive plays, right? In the running game, but also in the passing game. I feel like if this team is going to win the conference, they need...
No, he loses the ball after the huge gain. Oh, it looks as if the defense got it.
What a massive play by the defense, knocking it out. That's a country fumble. There's nobody around it, so you scoop that puppy up and you get downfield. It's a huge return and a momentum-changing play.
Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Oregon. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. That's exactly what you want to do when you have that type of field position. Strike quickly, and they did. One play, and they put it on the board. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Jesse, a very productive drive last time wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last one, Dave. Let's see what they can do here in this next drive.
Yeah, and I don't expect anything different. When you put together a drive like that, I would do more of the same. Keep the pace, keep it going.
Back to throw, it's Milroe. He'll pull it down and run. Running with power. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Looking to the big tight end. A strike downfield. He wasn't far from taking it to the house, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter. First down to start the drive after the break. The give to the back. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. He's looking to throw. Right down the middle. Fires into traffic. It's picked off. He'll try to take it back. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Well, the offense turns it over, and talking to their coaching staff before this game, they talked about how important it was to have good ball security and not give the opponent extra possessions. That time, poor decision by the quarterback, and the defense made them pay.
He'll heave it deep. Wide open downfield. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32. The Ducks want to pick up the tempo. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. Each brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. Back to pass, it's Gabriel. Unloads to the right. What a job to lay out and make the catch. The Ducks come to the line with a new set of downs. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. Throws to the tight end. Makes the grab. And he will score. Touchdown, Ducks. Look, it's still early, but we have some real distance being put on the scoreboard right now.
You do. It's early, but you got to find something positive. Right now, everything going in the other direction. So how are you going to respond when you've been hitting the mouth early in this football game? Got to find something positive quick.
On to attempt the try. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the finisher, an 18-yard touchdown throw. He'll bring it out. It's Henderson. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Oh, what vision. They were lucky to get him out of bounds. What a return as he almost took it for the touchdown. Here comes that Alabama offense. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Paul, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
Picked up some of what they needed on first down. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Quick pass on the jet motion. And he's able to shed 1 tackle, but still, just a very short gain. They've gotten right on the cusp of the end zone. They still need 2 yards. Will they try to bang it in with a run or go over the top? They want to power it in on the ground on 3rd and goal. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
I know it's early, but you're down by a lot of points. You've got to go for it here on 4th down, David. I'm finding my best player offensively and giving him a shot.
And what you said is all the difference in the world. I'm already down a lot early. I got to make some things happen. This is a situation.
And makes the grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama! A Lining up to add another. And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish it up with a 3-yard scoring toss. And he's going to bring it out. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back and forth. This is like two heavyweights just trading blows, David. What does this defense got to do to get a stop here?
I tell you what, man, when you're giving up points like this and you've got no momentum, you got to find somebody that can make a play to create something. And listen, if they're scoring anyways, let's be aggressive. Let's blitz more. Let's make sure we're making them feel discomfort in some way, shape, or form.
Fires to the wideout. He's got it. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. And after that pitch and catch, he's already over 200 yards, and we're in the first half, Jesse.
Man, Reese, he's dialed in right now. He's really doing a nice job seeing the field, reading coverages, and finding his open guy.
It's a 2-minute warning, and we'll see if the offense can tack a little something extra on their lead before the break. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Quarterback checking off. To throw, it's Gabriel. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
Well, I know that one fell incomplete, but what a day this guy's had throwing the football. Multiple touchdowns, and he's done a really nice job with his decision-making. Hasn't thrown any picks, which has really helped keep this offense on schedule.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Throws to the wideout. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play. He had him open there, and I know this quarterback expects to make that throw.
It's a tough throw because, again, you got a couple steps on a guy. That's not wide open. These DBs are so fast, but that is a throw that you do expect a guy like that caliber, to be able to play.
Fires into traffic, intercepted. Trying to take it back. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position. And now the offense will come onto the field again. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Fires to the tight end.
I'll say this, man, in college football you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job form tagging.
Fires to the big fella. Alabama quickly back to the line. Fast motion from the offense. The give is to Miller. And the defense had its hands full, but they finally wrestle him down short of the first down.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Grab near the sticks. It's Bernard. Able to move the chains, and they still have a chance after picking up the first down. They'll put the tight end in motion. They'll give it to the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. That linebacker was a heat-seeking missile, and the heat that he sought was the ball carrier.
Great job, great feel. Linebackers are making all the calls in the defense and understanding when I need to come through that gap and come through with bad intentions. Those guys are usually 245 pounds of heat-seeking missile.
Give to the back. He locked up and held on to bring him down. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Trying play action. Flushed out of the pocket. Fires on the move. Into the hallelujah land. Touchdown, Bama! And he makes the extra point. So they only needed to cover 28 yards on the drive. And they close the deal with a 16-yard throw for the touchdown. From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll the dice here late in the half, David?
And you know the defense is going to be really, really conservative, so I think it's an opportunity to be able to take a shot, see how much of a chunk you can get before then you decide really just how you want to finish the half.
Just can't turn it over and throw a pick if you're the quarterback here. You have got to be so smart if you're going to be aggressive with your decision-making.
From his end zone, he'll have to get rid of it. Gets it out fast. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. And that'll do it. Here in the second quarter, halftime has arrived, and we head to the studio. And the Ducks will kick it off to start the second half. He wisely lets that one bounce through the back of the end zone, and they'll take over at the 25. So we'll see the offense on the field to start this drive. Trying to set the tone on the ground in the second half. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking for a man. It's Milroe. Unloads to the wideout. Oh, what a grab by the defense. He couldn't quite get loose on that return, but he'd already made the play, and they've got it at the 35.
Some defensive players just have a knack. I've played with guys throughout the course of my career that you can't coach it. It's not speed, it's not strength. It's literally, I know when to break on the football, how to go get it, and how to pull it in. It's just a knack.
Quickly out to the tight end. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup. The Ducks racing to the line in a hurry up.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
It's first down from the 11. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. Touchdown, Oregon! And that one will put him up here in the second half. This dude is revving his engine like that duck coming out on a motorcycle. He is putting up points and finding the promised land.
And it's nice to have a guy that can do that. Goodness gracious, they just keep finding at Oregon as trigger men, not only throw the football, but guys who can pick them up and put them down and make big plays.
He'll start the return inside it, and he loses the football. Recovered by the kicking team. Touchdown, Ducks! And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call.
And this is why a lot of coaches don't kick the ball out of the end zone. They want them to return the football so something good can happen. So you can put a hat on a football, cause a fumble, make something happen, Palmer. And that's exactly what the kickoff unit does.
Man, I love kickoff coverage units, David, that take pride in their jobs. These guys want to line up. They want to run down the field and hurt somebody. That was a huge game-changing play to not just create the turnover, but to score a touchdown.
And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Coming after it. Slips away. Hey, that's a live ball. How in the world did the offense retain possession?
Man, and this is why you practice 5 points of pressure with the football. You cannot put the ball on the ground. Doesn't matter how many defenders are around you or how hard you get hit. You cannot turn the football over and expect to win games.
Looking to throw, it's Milroe. Trying to get, looking deep. And the incomplete pass, taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down. And this offense just can't afford not to get the 1st down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Quarterback needs to make a better throw there, incomplete.
Just don't feel like the quarterback's in a rhythm, so... accuracy issues. That last throw was underthrown, but we've seen bad decisions. Trying to force the football in places it just shouldn't go, and that's why he's already thrown multiple interceptions.
He'll bring it back. It's Terrell. That is coverage just the way you draw it up. Don't even let him get started, and they knock him down deep in his own end. Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Paul.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
Motion from the offense. Here comes the speed on the jet sweep. It's these little moments like that that can help an offense as he gets it up to the 16-yard line.
You got to give kudos to this defense. They are so well coached up. How about the awareness and the ability to play with great eye discipline? They located the football. They located that receiver on the jet sweep and were able to make the tackle.
That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on 3rd down. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Hey, if you're going to go for it on 4th down and you decide to run the football, you've got to be sure up front that you're going to win in the trenches. They didn't get it done that time. They need to be more physical moving forward. They're going to try to do that again in the same type of situation in this game.
And the defense able to corral him out of bounds and stop him at the 2.
And I like the offense there. 1st down, I'm going to be physical, try to get this ball in the end zone. Nice effort by the running back to dive, setting up a 2nd down. So
they attack the perimeter on that one. Let's see if maybe they work inside the tackles on this one, trying to be more physical, just going north. Now listen, the defense won that play. As an offense here, the key, David, you can't go back-to-back negative plays. You got to be smart with the football here. Looks like you're going to have to throw it. You just can't force it. You got to make sure you're playing with that clock in your head. You can't take a sack.
And I think this is a situation where I spread you out. I get more speed on the field. I make the defense declare. I see what they're in, but I'm definitely throwing the football. And how about the response from this defense? Put in a horrible situation, horrible field position. Jesse, they bowed their necks 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and it's a sudden change situation, and they practice that all week. You never know when they're going to come up, but you have to have guys on the field playing with a sense of urgency. This has been awesome defensively.
Wide out in motion. On the ground. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
When you get down here in the red zone, when you get close to the end zone, and you get goal-to-go situations, you've got to be physical, and I love teams that can run the football. They run the football, hand it to the running back. He does the rest, puts it in the end zone.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Bringing it out. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out in the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
And you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You can see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
Fires and picked off. And the offense makes the tackle in frustration after the interception. Drive comes up empty, and it's a turnover. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. On the option. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
That's the end of the third quarter. Oregon, 35. Alabama, 28.
Now facing a third down as they line up after the break. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Alabama.
And they don't want to waste this great field position here on 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Milroe. Using his legs to buy some time. And he'll skip his way out of bounds after a short gain, making sure he doesn't take any unnecessary punishment.
Yeah, and the QB decided to take it himself. Got a little bit of pressure, you could see, and decided to take off, scramble, and couldn't get the first down. And now it's 4th down decision time. No matter where it is on the field or what the distance is, you know there's a chance. We still might go for it.
I think the defense was even caught off guard on that one, guys. Not seeing the field goal unit trot out onto the field. They had a golden opportunity there to make a stop and get the ball back without surrendering any points. They couldn't do it, though, and now all of a sudden their backs are against the wall.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
But when you get down here inside the red zone, you got to be able to run the football. And it's one thing to do it conventionally, but I like the idea of mixing it up and trying to go jet sweep.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Trying to power it in. Touchdown Tide! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. The offense did exactly what it needed to do, getting the ball in field position like that.
It's that killer mentality. You step on their throat, you keep your foot down. When you get opportunities like that, they are golden chances to put touchdowns on the board. The offense took care of business.
Here comes the kickoff as we are all tied up in the 4th quarter. He'll return it. And he coughs it up inside the 20. Maybe some nerves on that return, but a fortunate bounce, and they'll retain possession.
Wow, they narrowly avoid disaster there. They fumble the kick return, and if that that goes to the other team. All the momentum is no longer with them, so a nice job being able to pounce back on that. The head coach breathing a huge sigh of relief.
Looking for a man. It's Gabriel. Fires it incomplete. Not sure exactly what went haywire there, but the timing was just off.
And that's your job as a defense, right? You got to find a way to disrupt the timing and jam wide receivers or get to the quarterback and make him feel uncomfortable, but you can't let that timing be.
Makes the catch down the right side. And the tackle is made, but not before that completion gets them 30-plus. The Ducks want to move quickly. What a nice job just finding a spot downfield and lofting it in there perfectly.
And you see quarterbacks and receivers do that all the time, right?
He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And they won't make the connection going for the big play. They'll spread the defense out going 5 wide on 2nd and 10.
All right, QB, I got to trust you, man. You already threw one pick. Now that one probably should have picked. You got to give me a reason to feel confident I can drop back and let you throw the football again. Or else this leash maybe gets a little bit short. Maybe we start warming up the righty in the bullpen.
Fires downfield. That pass is incomplete. Certain moments in the game you know are just a little bit bigger. Here's one of them. Big play coming on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. Tie game here late in the 4th. They want to control the ball, and they're not going to punt it away. They'll go for it on 4th down. Forced out of the pocket. Looking down the left side. And he makes the grab and gets the foot down. What a job for a huge gain there. Really good job there. Don't force anything. Take your time. And he finds his man for the 1st down.
Yeah, and I think really good job by seeing the defense. Understand that they're dropping back. They're taking away most things. All right, get the ball to my running back. He can make plays after he catches it. Nice job by the quarterback seeing the situation and where to go with the football.
Yeah, and that was tough on the DB, right? He's trying to cover the receiver on a drag route, running back over the middle of the field. You're trying to avoid all of the linebackers, all of the congestion. He just couldn't stay with them long enough, and as a result, fresh set of downs for the offense.
The aerial assault continues. And this will be picked off. A costly turnover in a tie game.
I don't want to pile on and kill this young man who plays QB, but you have to understand situational football. You got to understand, a field goal puts me in the lead. This game is tied. The worst thing I could do is throw an interception.
Give to the running back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
I love this linebacker because he's able to dissect what's happening in front of him, and he reacts downhill, uses his speed to get to the line of scrimmage and create the negative play.
To the air, it's Milroe. Fires toward the target. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Time to take a shot. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. Looks as if the Tide will punt it away. That one will find its way out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you've got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game. If you're going to win it, David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
On second down, he's looking downfield. And he can't find anyone open, and down he goes. A sack here late in the fourth. This is a 3rd and long. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. He uncorks a laser deep down the middle. And he's brought down after a huge completion.
That's a beautiful pass and catch. I love the job the quarterback does manipulating the defense with his eyes. He froze that safety, and that allowed his receiver more room to work his route.
Fires to the big fella. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon! They move on top here in the fourth.
Man, how about this offense in crunch time, doing what they do, getting 6 on the board. Now I turn to my defense right now and say, boys, we need one more stop. Go out there, get me one more.
They'll try to tack on an extra point here deep in the game. The extra point is good, and now in the fourth, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it off with a touchdown toss from the 23. And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. Here comes that Alabama offense. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Pocket starts to collapse. Fires to the wideout. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play. It's 3rd down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. Defense in press coverage. They'll try to power their way ahead. They were all over him, nowhere to go as that 3rd down play turned into a disaster. Desperate to convert, and he'll throw it. He's got him, and they convert. And it's a catch, but he's got enough for the first down. They'll hurry to the line with the clock still running. Going up top on first down. They're bringing heat. And he can't get it off. Taken down. What a huge play this late in the game. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running. Second down coming. Looking downfield. It's Milroe. They're trying to get to him. Moving away from pressure. At the 45 on his way. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. 6th play of the drive coming up. Corner's going to give them room. They'll get the timeout with 5 seconds remaining to play.
Alabama.
Big drive for this offense late, trying to tie the game. They've pieced together a couple of first downs, and here they come again. Looking to move it through the air. Lets it fly deep downfield. Throw to the end zone. It's picked off. And he is brought to the ground, and that's how we'll wrap this one up. Plenty of fireworks in this one, a lot of points. They always talk about having the chalk last, and it seemed like whoever was on offense had the last laugh.
Yeah, it's amazing how much offense has just boomed in college football. So good, so many ways to hurt you, and you saw both of these offenses put on a show today, Jess.
Dave, we talked to both of these coaching staffs, and their defensive coordinators were losing sleep all week. They knew this was going to be a tough task ahead of them. So much speed, so much firepower on both of these offenses. And man, we saw that here today.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer,